You found yourself on another episode of Locked On Bulls. The Clippers could pursue DeMar DeRozan if Paul George leaves in free agency. Me and Pat are going to talk about how much we believe that or not. Also, will the Bulls make a draft day trade? And how important is that if they are listening to those deals? And rumors that Chris Paul may want to come to Chicago? No thanks. Me and Pat are going to discuss all these topics and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thank you for tuning in to Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. That's Pat, the designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze, and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls Central and Chicago Bears Central. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 with any winning $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. All right, Pat. Let's jump right into it, man. The Los Angeles Clippers reportedly could make a pivot towards DeMar DeRozan if Paul George does leave in free agency this offseason. We know that the Philadelphia 76ers are one team that's reported to have a big interest in Paul George. Wouldn't be surprised if there's some other suitors at the door if he does become an unrestricted free agent. What do you think about the chance of the Clippers coming to pursue DeMar DeRozan this offseason potentially?
It made perfect sense to me when I heard about it. I mean, maybe it's just me, but literally like a player who's still a pretty good player, but maybe is a little bit, past his prime and you want to take a chance on him. Like
that all sounds great, but doesn't that sound like exactly what they did for Russell Westbrook? They're going to do it again?
It sounds like exactly what they did for Russell Westbrook. It sounds exactly like what they did for James Harden. It sounds exactly like what they're continuing to do it for Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Like, what do you mean do it again? They're still doing it. Like, you can't do it again if you're actively doing it. Right?
I mean, you still can do it again. Like, nobody said start back up, but it is still doing it again. You can actively do it and still do it again. Is that become the identity of the Clippers opening their new stadium next year, right? Am I not mistaken?
Yep. And so
okay, that makes sense.
Guess what they want to be? Competitive.
Yeah.
You do not want to go into your new stadium with a bad basketball team. So yeah, I do fully expect them to make a run at DeMar DeRozan if they do be out, or if they do end up becoming out on the Paul George market. And I think that it completely fits the MO of that Clippers team, a player. And listen, it's not to say that any of the names all the names I just mentioned are still good players.
Yeah, they're still
Russ has turned into a role player, but he's playing the role as one of the best bench point guards in basketball. Paul George is still really good. Kawhi Leonard's still really good. James Harden's still really good. Well, James Harden's still good. And, you know what I mean? Like you can go down that list, and DeMar DeRozan is still good, but like their MO has become, we're going to pay a little bit more. We're going to go get the bigger names. But yeah, we're willing to take a gamble on the guys who are a little bit more over the hill to keep our names continually in the conversation as far as playoff contenders, maybe not finals contenders, but they will be playoff contenders. And especially going into a new stadium, they got to be winners. You cannot go into a new stadium. You leave the Staples Center and you lose. Like, you go into a whole new stadium and you're not selling tickets? That's the list.
I don't know if they're going to sell tickets even if they win. Like, people in LA hate the Clippers. They really hate the Clippers.
It's a very, like, I will say this, the only Clippers fan I know that's like a real, like a diehard Clippers fan is Darian. Like, he's the only one. He hosts Locked On Clippers, but he is like a diehard Clippers. I don't even know how that happens.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like people,
diehard Magic.
It's almost disrespect if you tell somebody from LA, "Yeah, I got you tickets to the Clippers game."
Bro, like it's certain teams. I just don't know how it happens. Like, how do you become a diehard Magic fan? Like, nobody's born in Orlando. You just migrate there. Nobody's born in Orlando. I can't. People are born in Tallahassee and move to Orlando. I don't know, man. Like, I think that it fits the Clippers' MO. I think that it would be something that they would absolutely look into doing. And I think that
just today in Orlando, by the way, 6,475 babies born today in Orlando.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a low number. Get your babies up, Orlando. Get your babies up. That's not a lot of babies.
In the whole state of Florida today, there were 647,000 babies born today. So a tenth of that coming from just Orlando. Okay.
600. No, that would be 0.10.
No, that's one. What point? Because
0.1. Yeah,
0.1.
Yeah. You see why we talk sports? Not that matters. Nah, man. I just like, why did you only on Locked On Bulls? Why did you look up how many babies were born?
I don't know.
Keep them a point there.
Because I don't care about the Clippers. I care more about how many babies were born in Orlando.
Oh, I don't know, man. Like, I guess, like, here's what's funny. Is it just me, or is this the team that makes the most sense to go after DeMar?
I guess in the sense that it fits their MO. If Paul George does leave, they can have about $32 million in cap space. Not a team that's afraid to spend money to be over the luxury tax anyway, but you got to have true cap space to sign a free agent unless you're using a mid-level exception. It all makes sense. And also, the thing with the Clippers are, as much as they do want to stay competitive to open this new stadium, I believe fully in 2 or 3 years, they're blowing that crap all up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. No.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this is the long-term answer. I'm telling you that this is, that when they're finally ready for Terrence Mann to take over the team when he's 36, they're just going to keep
it's finally
going.
Your turn, Terrence. It's your time now.
They're finally going to turn the reins over to Terrence Mann at 36 years old, and he's going to retire the next day. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what the Clippers plan is. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, the Clippers have as murky of a plan as the Bulls have. And at least they have better players that put you in a better position in the Western Conference than what the Bulls have. So
they also have an owner that's willing to spend money, right? Like they don't care about the tax bill in LA, and if he is willing to do whatever it takes. Like, let's be clear, like the Clippers, if they are fully healthy, they are a championship contender. The problem is, though, is that you're betting on a bunch of players that are never fully healthy. They haven't been fully healthy for almost a decade. Like, shout out to Paul George for putting together one of his healthier seasons last year. Like, shout out to him and Kawhi for what that's worth. But we're talking about saying, hey, by the way, this is their most healthy season in like 6 years, and he played 74 games, which is really good for Paul George.
Well,
what Kawhi play, like 62?
60, something like that. Yeah, somewhere.
How many games did Kawhi play last year? Healthy season for Kawhi Leonard since 2018. He played 68 games. So,
which, I mean, listen, to me, made perfect sense because we kept hearing that the Clippers were basically just like, we're going to make sure that you don't get hurt, and then you get hurt anyway. But I do think it's funny because, like, in my mind now, Steve Ballmer, who owns the Clippers, is just trying to do anything he can heading into next season, signing DeMar DeRozan, right? I'm sure there's going to be some. I mean, listen, we're going to talk about the Chris Paul rumors to Chicago. There are Chris Paul rumors to the Clippers yet again. I think both signings could be made in an attempt to bury the fact that Lawrence Fishburne is going to be playing Doc Rivers.
Bro,
in a couple of months.
Was just about to bring up that Clip TV show. Bro, what they got Lawrence Fishburne doing, bro, is out of this world.
Here's my question, bro. Like, nothing else is going on. John Wick, like, it was nothing else going on that you was like, hey, I shouldn't make this bad television show. It looks so Tubi.
At this point, bro, Lawrence Fishburne is just collecting a check. But not only him, they also got my boy Al Bundy in it, playing Donald Sterling.
They do got Al Bundy.
He's playing Donald Sterling.
Which is, let's be real, that might end his career. That might be the one.
I mean, listen, Ed O'Neill, what is, like, since Modern Family ended, what really has Ed O'Neill been in?
Ed O'Neill was in he got a hit TV show. I can't think of it. He with the that is Ed O'Neill, right? Am I tweaking? Maybe I'm tweaking.
What are you?
Maybe I'm tweaking. but I think he's in. Yeah, that's it. Modern Family.
I just said Modern Family. That ended 6 years ago.
It ended 3 years ago.
It ended in 2020.
Okay, it ended 4 years ago. My bad.
Oh yeah, 4 years ago.
That math kicking your butt, dog. Yeah, hey, listen. You live off of that as long as you can, brother, because you was in that with that fine. Hey, do your ad read, brother.
All right. So with that said, next up we're going to be talking about the Bulls possibly making a trade in the draft. But before we get into that, we got to get into a message from our sponsor, and that is FanDuel. It's winner take all time in the NBA and NHL, and FanDuel is giving you a shot to bring home a big win of your own. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and more. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make every playoff shot count, like Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns did tonight for the Minnesota Timberwolves. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. All right, there, Pat.
Vergara.
Yeah. It took you that long to figure out her name?
Oh no, I said it before the break.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I threw it out there. Oh yeah, I know who she is for sure. If there was a Sofia Vergara, Rosario Dawson,
quite a big draft day trade 7 years ago, trading Jimmy Butler to the Minnesota Timberwolves in exchange for Zach LaVine, Lauri Markkanen, and Chris Dunn. And the Bulls have kind of been directionless since then. Like, other than the one playoff appearance, we haven't had a true playoff appearance since we traded Jimmy Butler. Now, Pat, I'm going to ask you this. Could the Bulls reverse that draft day luck this year by making a draft day trade and maybe setting the franchise in the right direction?
It's tough because, I mean, you're still in a situation where you can't do anything really with that Portland pick just yet. You don't have another pick available to yourself until 2026. That 2025 pick is up in the air right now because of the trade you made with the Spurs, and so you're kind of in a tough situation. But I do think there are some names that are up there that I'd love to see the Bulls try and go after. Right, I talked about Donovan Clingan as somebody that I think would fit well with the Bulls. He's probably going to be a top 6 to 8 pick somewhere in there. Which is out of your range. Can you maybe move a couple of picks to go up a few spots? I don't know if there's anybody up there that I see is that valuable, right? Like if somebody falls to 8, I kind of at this point don't want you to trade for him. You know what I mean? Like it's like if the guy, unless you think he's going to be a star, like if he falls to 8, it's like, all right, like he's almost there. Maybe take the chance, maybe gamble. But like if there's somebody you view as top 3 and you think he's going to be out of there, you got to have a lot of confidence in this draft. You got to have a lot of confidence because this is a draft right now where, and I keep laughing at it every single day. And everybody that was sitting there laughing at me on Locked On NBA was sitting there like, why would this ever happen? Bronny James is shooting up them boards. Bronny James is that
shooting
last
up
name
those
James
boards from being out of the second round into the second round. Like
you said, what?
Yeah, shooting up the boards going out from out of the second round into the second round.
Shoot,
some have them low. Some do have them low first.
I saw Bronny James 15. I think that was
who's mock?
I think that was ESPN's mock.
No, he's 23rd in ESPN's mock.
Oh, 23rd on ESPN. Yeah. Somebody just had him 15. Somebody just had him. Maybe it's CBS. CBS is bad.
Was it Ringo? Ringo strikes me as somebody.
It was a Ringo mock. No, it might have been CBS. I don't know. One of them was. But I keep telling you, listen, he was a mid-second round pick when we started all this combine stuff where he didn't have a good combine. He was a mid-second round pick. And after a bad combine, people are sitting there talking about.
No, bro, that's the thing. People, you always say that, but people legitimately left his combine impressed because that's how bad they thought he was. That those mediocre stats in the combine, people were like, he's better than what I thought he was.
No, but what I'm saying is that tells you where this draft is at because he didn't have a good combine. I think he went 9 for 23 for the whole day.
None of the big time and major, other than like ESPN because they have the name ESPN though, but the actual draft experts, nobody has Bronny James going that high right now. So I get it. It is a weaker draft, and as far as that, and a good combine, especially when they start doing the one-on-one workouts, it can make you rise and things like that. But there are still some really good players, actual players in this draft that do have upside. I just don't know if you have to move up to get them. That's the thing. Like, I don't know if you need to give up any assets in this one, because theoretically at number 11, you're still going to have a plethora of guys there that, honestly, I think it's more likely the Bulls could trade down and still get their guy while maybe picking up a second-round pick.
There's only one guy I'm looking to trade down for, and it's because they keep saying that he's gonna just not be there. Or maybe you can just buy without somebody's mocks. I think you need to find a big in this draft. But if TSJ falls as far as people are saying he's gonna fall, find a way to get him.
You know what? That's the weird thing in all of this. Like, how. And it seemed like, at least from the last thing I read, it seemed like the case may be going his way, but it's like
everything that I've read says the case is going his way, and yet every time I see him, I'm like, he's going further down the board.
Exactly. It's really a weird thing, because like we all know, and even everything that no matter where he's placed at, if you read what they're saying about him, everybody talks about him having lottery potential, but he keeps falling. So it's like, what is the information these people are getting that we don't have that is making him fall? It got to be something.
There's got to be something out there, bro. I have no idea. But the one thing that I will say is, like, there's not many players that I see with star potential. And maybe I'm being a little bit hypocritical. I said this on the phone with you the other day. Maybe I'm being a little bit hypocritical with TSJ. Because he's not a great three-point shooter, and I know the Bulls need three-point shooting terribly. But I really do believe that he's the best player in this draft. Maybe outside of Alex Sarr, who, I ain't gonna lie, watching Alex Sarr's tape did not impress me. I didn't.
Oh, bro, I don't know.
I didn't watch his tape and go.
His shootability, his ability to dribble like a wing. Like, I loved Alexander Sarr's tape, but like I said, the Bulls aren't going to be in a position. And I get it.
You're not going to be in a position for him, but it's just, I watched it and I was like, this feels a little Filipowski-ish. feels like he's a little more. You know what I mean? Like,
he has higher athletic potential, but I can get where you're getting at. I mean, but like, we say that Terrence Shannon Jr. isn't a good three-point shooter, but let's be clear: 4 3-pointers per game over his collegiate career at 35%. He's not terrible. And last season, 6.7 3-pointers, hit that at a 36% clip. It's not terrible. Like, his three-point shooting,
very Chris Middleton-ish though. When you watch, very streaky, he'll have a game where he'll go 5 for 6 and he'll light you up. He'll have a game right after that where he'll go 0 for 6 and kind of even it out. I agree. I know the percentages are what they are, but very, a little up and downish for TSJ on the 3-point shot.
Yeah, but that's earlier in his career. If you look at last year, honestly, bro, game 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in a row of shooting above 30, mid-30s and above. Of course, he had the 28, 2 for 7 and shit like that, but like, he's a scorer. He's going to be streaky.
Yeah.
He's not a shooter yet. He's a scorer. So, that's good. It's going to be a little streaky, but he has that. It's not like, here's the thing. If he's wide open, I want him taking the 3. I'm taking it.
Yeah, no, he's not bad enough where you go, hey, maybe don't take that 3. It's just that right now his first thought is to get to the bucket, and that's why I say maybe a little bit more hypocritical because of what I've said that the Bulls need to pick up in this draft. You got to find. I mean, listen, at a certain point, you have to come into the modern NBA. You got to find size. You got to find a shooter. I would love for you to find both of them in the same person. But TSJ to me, I do believe is. I think he's the best player outside of Alex Sarr on this list. And he's like we've said, he's plummeting. Like, maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe we'll get to 5 years down the line and TSJ and Kofi Cockburn are running a heck of a pick and roll down in Puerto Rico. But like, I really think he's the best player that I think outside of Alex Sarr, he's the only other player that has star potential in this draft. I don't see star potential out of Kyle Filipowski. I see a really good player. I don't see star potential out of Donovan Clingan. I see what we missed in Walker Kessler that we could have got at freaking 18. I don't see star potential in a lot of these names that we've done mocks on. Cody Williams. I don't see star potential in Cody Williams. I see a really good role-playing scorer. Maybe it's just me, especially what they're branding Cody Williams as. Elite 3 and D. All right.
You see our boy Tristan DeSilva's shooting up the draft, the mock show. That man, he was an early second. There's some mocks that got him going 15th. I'm like, yeah, people started waking up on Tristan listening to us.
I wouldn't be mad at Tristan DeSilva at 11. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't be, because I think that
I would only because of the age. 24 years old.
Yeah, I just don't care. You know what I mean? Like at this point, I haven't seen 5 years of good Bulls basketball in I haven't seen 5 years of good Bulls basketball.
5 straight. Derrick Rose. Yeah.
Derrick didn't play 5 straight.
But we were still good over that. You gotta keep in mind we still had the freaking Nate Robinson year. We had the what's his name?
Okay,
DJ Augustine year. We were still playing some good basketball.
Okay, I count that as good. All right, okay, that's it. I count that as good. It's good without I guess I haven't seen 5 years of championship hope basketball.
Okay, but, yeah. You definitely
I mean, I haven't seen 5 years of good basketball in a long time, should I say? But if you were, let's say Bulls stand pat at 11, they take whoever, Tristan DeSilva, one of those guys that whose name has been up there. Would you be open to trading future asset to try and get a second first-round pick if Terrence Shannon is still on the board?
No, I'm waiting to fall if he falls in the second. Me, you had this conversation. If he truly falls in the second, yeah, I'm willing to call. I forgot who I said had the first pick in the second round. I'm calling them
Raptors.
Maybe it is the Raptors, but yeah, I'm trying
the
Raptors,
to get that. Didn't I make a Lonzo Ball joke on that one?
Oh yeah.
Like you offer Lonzo Ball to the Raptors straight up for a second round pick,
pairing with Grady Dick. Yeah. So, but anyway, next up we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show. Talk about Chris Paul. So for some reason, there's rumors of Chris Paul potentially coming to the Chicago Bulls if he is, his last year of his contract's non-guaranteed. If the Warriors decide to move on from that, him potentially coming here as a free agent to play for Billy Donovan. And my question is, my statement to this is, if you're a Bulls fan and you're clamoring for Chris Paul to come to the Chicago Bulls, I hate you. I hate you.
I wish you were doing this episode with P Kid, because I guarantee you he would be in love with Chris Paul.
Kid would absolutely make some type of conversation like, oh yeah, this is how Kid would do it. I can make an argument for why Chris Paul could bring to this, could make the Chicago Bulls, could make the Chicago Bulls a playoff team. It's like, oh my God, Kid, bro, just shut the hell up, Kid. I love you, but shut the hell up.
Here's what's funny. Let me make the Kid argument for you. It took a point guard, a legitimate point guard, to get some of the players on that Phoenix Suns team kind of to the next level. You saw Jay Crowder kind of take another step. Of course, we saw Devin Booker finally lock in and become the player he is. Mm-hmm. And they go on the finals run. After that, all the wheels fall off. Everybody's dead. Could that be a situation here where you need a true point guard to unlock one of these young players' potential? Patrick Williams, Kobe White. Maybe Kobe's kind of unlocked.
Yeah, but not Chris Paul. Not Chris Paul. Anybody but you.
He's still 7 assists a game last year.
I don't care if
he's still running offense.
I don't care if Chris Paul with his BBL is running up, passing out 7 dimes.
What? Chris Paul got when did Chris Paul get up?
He got the same thing Kyle Lowry got, bro.
No, he didn't. Kyle Lowry got the Mariah Mills package.
Bro, if you look at Chris Paul and Kyle Lowry standing side by side, they're body doubles.
Kyle Lowry sitting there going back to Toronto playing BBL Drizzy, thinking that was just the regular song, bro. He didn't think it was nothing wrong with it. BBL Drizzy. That's crazy. And then our first few weeks on this show, BBL Lowry, bro.
Because that song's royalty free, we could actually play that on the show. we can make that the theme music.
We should definitely get that just for the moments we mentioned Kyle Lowry. Oh, what a Paul song. But nah, man. Chris Paul to the Bulls is not something I'm clamoring for. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not something I would want to see the Bulls do. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not something I want to see the Bulls do at the price that Chris Paul is probably gonna come at.
He shouldn't come at any cost. Chris Paul should be free.
Chris Paul should have to pay you to play for your team.
Yeah. I'm good on that, man.
Yeah, I'm all right on. Let's see. What was Chris Paul coming off of? He had $30 million non-guaranteed. What was last year though? What was last year? Was it $30 million too? Is Chris Paul still making $30 million? What the heck is going on, dog? Chris Paul is making $30 million. Yeah, you're not getting him at a vet minimum.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like,
well, you said nobody's gonna pay Chris Paul. Oh, they gonna pay him.
All right, bet. Watch what I say. Chris Paul.
Hey, listen. You putting a lot of faith in a front office that has led you astray many a time. You telling me you don't believe that for one season, AK would offer Chris Paul $20 million?
No, not with where this team is right now. I feel fully confident.
Man, listen, you're gonna look at it and say, well, we tried to give DeMar 20. DeMar didn't want it.
Yeah,
we might as well give Chris Paul.
But that's the thing. We don't have just the money to offer. We only can do DeMar because we have his bird rights. So. AK may be saved for his own stupidity at that point.
Oh, dog.
By the way, did you see Drake got another reference track leaked as well? He didn't even write Mob Ties. This is the one song
I did see that. I did see that. He didn't write Mob Ties. Yeah. And ain't Act the one that dropped that? Ain't Act the one that like broke that news?
That Act is compromised.
Bro, Act is crushed.
Yeah. He's trying to come around, but he still every once in a while he goes back into it. It's like, I'm still Act, but I gotta throw this one out here so I can look objective from time.
Yeah, it ain't good. Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls. You can follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Chris Paul, 2025, just to see Haize lose his mind.
No, I'm gonna quit the show. Is what I'm gonna do. I'm literally going to quit the show. You guys can follow me at CEO Haize. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Locked On Bulls is free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube. For Pat the Designer, I'm Haize. It's been Locked On Bulls, y'all. Peace.
BBL.